All right, guys. So the USMNT 2, Haiti 1. We finished top of our group in the Gold Cup, which is not worthy of praise, or it is the bare minimum. Duh. It's the Gold Cup. It's a terrible tournament. You should bare minimum be finishing top of your group and going on to compete to win it. I'm going to begin this stream. Goals by Malik Tillman and the blessed boy, Patrick Aguimang. And I'm going to start this stream tack with a little bit of a rant that Shills and MLS fanboys are not going to enjoy. All right. And that is okay. You oftentimes don't enjoy things I say, and that is okay. But, if you are of a sensitive nature, I would suggest clicking away. Do we remember the 2021 Gold Cup where an entire team of MLS players, it was all MLS players except for Matthew Hoppe, right? Matthew Hoppe was the only non-MLS player on a team that won the Gold Cup, including beating Canada and Mexico in that Gold Cup. And what that did was it got many people to start hyping up players like DeAndre Yedlin, Shaq Moore, James Sands, Kellen Acosta, Christian Roldan, Jackson Ewell, Jonathan Lewis, Sebastian Lletget, Jossie Zardes, and
Miles Robinson.
Miles Robinson is another one. Okay. They won the Gold Cup. They didn't beat Haiti. They didn't just finish top of their group. They won the whole thing, including beating Mexico and Canada, who are our big rivals in the region. And those same players, a lot of them, went to the World Cup and didn't even look like professional players at a World Cup level. Okay. Let me continue. In 2023, Jesus Ferreira was was he the top scorer in the Gold Cup with 7 goals? Certainly he was one of them, with back-to-back hat tricks in the group stage. Proceeded to go to the 2022 World Cup and also looked like maybe put in one of the worst performances we've ever seen.
Jesus was not in the 2021. He was in the 2023 one.
Oh, 2023. I'm sorry. After he had stunk it up in the World Cup, right? Stunk it up in the World Cup. Absolutely terrible. Goes to the Gold Cup, kills it. Being good in the Gold Cup does not mean that you should be anywhere near the U.S. men's national team, okay? So for the Charlotte fans and the soccer LARPers who are going to come here to say that Aguimang scores goals. Aguimang has 1 goal in this tournament against Haiti. Accidental goals do not factor into our evaluation of a player. If it hits you and bounces into the net, it could hit a 2-year-old toddler and bounce into the net. That's not anything you did. He has 1 goal against Haiti. His general performances this entire group stage have been absolutely hot garbage to the point where you wonder how this guy is even a professional player. Okay? So it is what it is. Anybody who really knows the game or who's actually been paying attention knows that he shouldn't be anywhere near this national team. Unfortunately, because he scored, the shills and the propaganda artists will use this as an opportunity to gas him up. Now, this team played terrible. Haiti is ranked 83rd in the FIFA rankings. They're ranked 72 in the ELO rankings. This is a terrible, terrible team, and we squeaked by them 2-1.
And those rankings might even be generous.
Those rankings are very generous. Let us continue. We have Costa Rica and Mexico now, right? This entire Gold Cup, against Trinidad and Tobago, I thought we looked competent. But against, Saudi Arabia and against Haiti, we had the same problem of very slow, ponderous play, not really able to create enough meaningful chances to look good against teams that aren't very, very good. Now, well done. You did your job. You got out of the group stage, and now the real tests will start against Costa Rica or Mexico. Probably Costa Rica is our guess, but we'll find out later tonight. Tac, your thoughts on the game?
Well, it's the same thing. It's what I just tweeted, actually. It was a very tough watch, the group stage. It wasn't super enjoyable. It's actually been a while since the U.S. men's national team has been enjoyable to watch, and it was that. Now, going forward in the Gold Cup, to me, I don't care anymore how we play. Just win the Gold Cup, because also most of the players in this roster already know how they play. A lot of them shouldn't be in the World Cup roster. Many of them, not all of them. There's many players there that should be, like Tillman, Tyler Adams, Richards. Tim Ream right now would definitely make the roster. Matt Freese, I was hoping he would do well, but we'll talk about him very soon. Even though we'll get to that. But yeah, the thing with Aguimang that people need to realize, just being very, very kind with this topic and very, very nice about the topic. That happens. Like, you stay long enough against these really, really, really bad opponents, it can happen that you're going to score a goal, like it happened to him. And Jesus Ferreira, for example, a player that has essentially got cut and banished from the national team, when he played these opponents, he would actually trash them. Jesus was a better player. Jesus would be getting hat tricks. Jesus would be doing much better. So sure, hopefully Ajiman does continue to score throughout the Gold Cup, because to win it, we're going to need our players, and preferably the forwards, to score goals, and not Chris Richards, right? The forwards usually score the goals. But we've seen enough to evaluate the player, and this is not the level of player that you want for the U.S. national team. That's just being honest. He's always on the floor. He gets bodied way too easily. There's no combination play with him. And yeah, occasionally against these opponents, he'll slip through and happen. But like, to the point about Jesus Ferreira, we saw Jesus do a lot better against this level of opposition. And when he came to the World Cup to play, Jesus put up one of the worst World Cup performances I've seen from a U.S. national team player in modern soccer, right? Against the Dutch when he played. Sure, the Dutch is a good team, but that's the standard for the World Cup. That's what you should be expecting, to be able to play against a team like the Netherlands. And I mean, like, yeah, sure, Ajiman may get a goal against Haiti after stinking the bed the entire game. The question is, how would he do against? I mean, we're going to get already some decent tests when he plays, even against like a Panama, even against Costa Rica's defense is terrible, but Canada, Mexico, Panama, even those opponents is something that I want to see how he does. And I think I know how he'll do. I mean, I watched him also in the playoffs against Orlando City last year. It wasn't good, but look, I'm just going to stop talking about him specifically. The point was made. I think the fans are smart enough that we don't have to repeat that.
No, but I'm going to address this chat by the appropriately named Deathstroke. Pete, with all due respect, you're not the coach. Correct. Your powers of observation remain intact. And Poch likes Aguiman because his size roughs up defenders. Well, I may not be this coach, Deathstroke, but I do have eyes. And if you watch the same game that I did today, you will discover that actually he was the one getting roughed up, not the defenders. Do you know how many times they knocked him to the floor while he was trying to control the ball? Not by fouling him, just by leaning on him in a very legal, legitimate way. So watch that game again and watch how many times he, a 6'4" forward, was roughed up. He might even be taller than that. And his size is nice. Size is great. The Rock is a very big man, for example. That doesn't mean he's a soccer player. Okay, this is still a problem we have in American soccer circles, where we think that if you are big, you must be an athlete. Okay, sumo wrestlers are a kind of athlete, and they are large. They would not be good soccer players. Okay, so the size argument needs to go down the tubes. If you cannot watch Aguiman, and we have enough data on him now, both in MLS and for the national team, and understand that this guy is not a national team level player, regardless of whether he scores a goal against Haiti or gets an accidental goal against Trinidad and Tobago, then frankly, that's okay. But you still need to, we'll keep watching the game and learning that's not what you think it is. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Welcome to the game. Aguiman is not it. Okay. He's just not.
Yeah. Let's start talking about other things with the game. It's like,
we're going to address this super chat here.
Like, listen, someone that can't see what Aguiman is as a player, I'm sorry. Like, can't be told. You have to see it. You can't be
You have
told.
to see it. Keep watching though. And by the way, shout out to everybody who's watching this Gold Cup. Okay. If you are still here watching this national team play, if you have purchased tickets to this national team, if you have purchased merch, if you have in any way given them your time, your attention, or your money, you are a hero in my books, because this team has given you no reason to do so. And yet here you are. Cindy Pardo Kone, JT Batson, the U.S. Soccer Federation should be extremely grateful for, for guys like you. Or girls like you, whoever's in the chat. Rocco, I'm sick of some of these players whining about mild fan criticism. You and me both, Rocco. You would think they've won 2 World Cups with the egos Weah and Weston have. Yeah, we addressed Weah's comments yesterday in the chat and how he was whining about fans complaining. And we addressed why fans actually have been very, very soft and very mild with their criticism compared to the performances that they've been treated to. So, yeah, it is what it is. These are our soft players, and that's why I think we're in for a rough ride next summer at the World Cup. But thank you for the super chat, Rocco. The size is great, Pete, 2025. You should clip it, Mr. Eyebrows. You should clip it. Yeah, look, 9 points, job done. Like I said earlier, bare minimum. Now we're going to look forward. I don't think anybody had a great game today. Against Haiti, I would have expected better from everybody, but I'm also not totally surprised. I thought Tillman had some good moments and also some rough ones in terms of some of his decision-making. Tyler Adams was generally good. Chris Richards was generally good, although even he had a few, long balls that he could have done better with. Let's talk about Matt Freese, because he goes into this Gold Cup tournament and it's his opportunity, right? It's his opportunity to take that number 1 jersey from Matt Turner, and he hadn't really been tested until now. Let's talk about the goal that Haiti scored. I agree with you, Tac. Tim Ream probably shouldn't have put him in that kind of position under pressure. I will say Poch is probably asking them to do that, right? Poch is probably saying, even under pressure, we build out of the back. But Matt Freese, as the goalkeeper, as the last line of defense, needs to be the guy to just clear that. Because under that kind of pressure, it's silly to try and play out of the back. Tim Ream was on the touchline with the defender near him. So it was a mistake from Matt Freese. It absolutely was. It was a mistake from Tim Ream to pass it to him in that situation. But Matt Freese is still responsible.
I wouldn't call it a mistake from Ream. What I meant
when I said poor judgment. It was poor judgment.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when you're playing pickup soccer and there's that player that's terrible and he's wide open, so you still don't pass it to him, because if you pass it to him, it's like the pass is fine. The pass to the player is fine, but he's going to lose the ball. I also am assuming Tim Ream has played enough with Matt Freese at practice and all that to know that maybe he's not that good with his feet, because none of the American goalkeepers are. So it wasn't a mistake from Ream, because this pass was fine. Any good goalkeeper with his feet would have cleared that very easily. But it was just
you don't even have to be good with your feet to clear that. Like, that is just basic stuff.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call it a mistake. It's just poor judgment. It was a Matt Freese mistake. He pretty much gave Haiti the goal.
Yeah. And look, Matt Turner is there sitting on the bench. Not that he's any better. I'm just saying this was his opportunity, and that certainly doesn't look good for him. I think he probably still starts that Costa Rica game if he's healthy. I know he had a little.
I would continue to start Matt Freese till the end of the tournament.
Yeah, I would too. I do want to talk a little bit about John Tolkien, who I actually thought, while I don't think this was his best performance today, I thought he was an upgrade on Arston. I think the goal to Aguimang was a very nice pass from him. I think he's a little bit more ball secure than Max Arfson, but I don't think the upgrade is huge. I do believe that Poch is going to start Arfson against Costa Rica or Mexico, whoever we end up playing. Alex Freeman
was on a yellow. That's why he didn't start, just like Luna.
Yeah, he's definitely going to start Arfson again. So get ready for some more Barston. Alex Freeman will probably continue to start at right back. Let's talk about the midfield. Johnny did not play today, right? Or he didn't start.
He played 10 minutes. Yeah, he played. Yeah, he came in with 10. Ryan White. Yeah.
I, looking forward, would like to see a midfield of Johnny, Adams, and Tillman for whoever we play, whether it's Mexico or whether it's Costa Rica. On the wings, how do you think Quinn's? I'm not going to do player ratings for today because it doesn't really matter against Haiti. But we can talk looking forward about, the knockouts. What did you think of Quinn Sullivan?
I think he's a good option off the bench. A lot of hustle, tries hard, and gets some dangerous crosses. I thought he was fine. I think he's a good option to put in the final 30 minutes there. Bring a lot of energy off the bench. I wouldn't start him.
So on the wings, I would probably start Luna and Aronson on the wings.
Yeah, and then Tillman as the 10. I'll probably do that, and then Quinn will probably be one of the first guys off the bench in the second half. For Aronson, probably.
Quinn, and then you've got Jack McGlynn and Luca De La Torre in midfield. It isn't great depth, but it is what it is. It's what we have. Defense, would you just keep Richards and Ream, or would you give McKenzie a chance against?
I mean, it doesn't matter to me. Richards needs to start. And if you go with Ream or McKenzie, I'm good with either one there.
And we know Aguimang's going to start that next game, especially after that goal.
Oh, yeah. Now, he might even start in September at this point.
He might start in the World Cup. Can you imagine? Poch benches Balogun, he's scoring goals for Monaco, and then Aguimang is just there.
Tell you one thing, if we get out of the group in the World Cup with Aguimang starting, that's tougher than winning it. So I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. Dinger or Dinger, not sure. I like Dinger better, so we're going to go with that. Donated $10 to Tac, so now I must repeat the favor here. By the way, if Aguimang ever touches the ball again, you will not be hearing from me. Thanks for the super chat, Dinger. I do have some bad news for you. He is going to start in the quarterfinal, so he will almost certainly be touching the ball again. He may not do much with it, but he will absolutely be touching the ball again. They said on the broadcast, according to Alex here, they said on the broadcast, Downs wasn't even available and might not be for the rest of the tournament. Oof, rough one. I hope he's not gone for the rest of the tournament, but even if he's available the rest of the tournament, does it really matter? Like, Pochettino is going to start Aguimang over Damian Downs, 100%. 100%. So I don't know if it matters that much. Daniel Reyes with a fair question. Do you think Turner makes the same mistake? He has made that same mistake many times, like pass the ball to players in the box or cheap giveaways under pressure. It has happened to Matt Turner as well. There isn't really a quality gap between our available goalkeepers right now. You've got Turner, you've got Stefan, who's mysteriously injured every time he comes into USMNT camp. You've got Turner, you've got Stefan, you've got Horvath, you've got Fries. Brady is at least young, but he's probably not going to play any minutes in this tournament. I don't really care at this point. Like, Fries is fine for now, but it's a problem. Going into the World Cup, we don't have a good goalkeeper, and it is something we're going to have to accept. And it does make me nervous because I don't think we have somebody that we can truly rely on between the six, which is so far removed from guys like Tim Howard and Casey Keller and Brad Friedel. And even Marcus Hanneman, right? Even Brad Guzan in his prime was a decent goalkeeper for Aston Villa. Unfortunately, and I don't think Gabriel Slonina is the answer for the future. I mean, the guy was awful in the third division in the UK. You know, Chris Brady has some potential, but I don't think he's ever going to be a really excellent goalkeeper. He may be a competent goalkeeper one day. I don't see a solution to our goalkeeping problem. I guess leave it to Matt Fries for now and hope he doesn't fuck up the rest of the tournament. But I don't have a solution. We just don't have the players.
Pete, it's the problem with the goalkeeper position is that you either have it or you don't. Yeah. You know how, like, field players, you can play a guy that's a midfielder. You can play him as a fullback. You can change the tactics to not get exposed in that weak spot. The problem with the goalkeeper is I don't even think there's anything Pochettino can do besides keep testing guys and hope someone pans out, because you either have a good goalkeeper or you don't. You can't even change the tack. What you can do is maybe they suck with their feet, so don't pass to them under pressure.
Well, that's what I was going to say. There is something Pochettino can do, and that is adapt the tactics to the goalkeepers he has available, right? If you're asking goalkeepers, and all of them outside of Diego Cochin, by the way, awful with their feet, okay? If you're asking them to do something they're not good at, it's not going to go well under pressure, number one. Number two, not only is that not going to go well, but a goalkeeper's form is very much confidence dependent, right? To be a good goalkeeper, you need extreme levels of confidence because you're the last man of defense. Any mistake that you make is a goal, right? And so your confidence and your security, your sort of reliability in yourself is really important. And if you're being asked to do something with a high probability of failure, not only is that going to hurt your ability to do that thing, it's going to now impact your confidence, which impacts your decision-making, your technical ability, and you'll start to doubt yourself. So I'm not saying it's Pochettino's fault. I'm just saying with the goalkeepers, you have to understand good coaching is maximizing your strengths and finding ways to cover for your weaknesses, right? While obviously trying to improve your weaknesses. I don't think asking them to play out of the back under pressure is doing the goalkeepers any favors either. I think with the goalkeepers that we have, if you're under pressure, it's okay to go long. The problem when you go long is that you don't have a striker that can hold up the ball. I mean, Bambi up top can barely stay on two. I mean, classic example. He was played in behind, no defender with him, and he tried to control the ball. He fell down trying to control the ball, you guys. I mean, this is the most lumbering, technically improficient men's national team striker I've ever seen. And I've seen Jassy Zardes on the field. I've seen Duncan Maguire. So it's awful. I don't know if Turner makes the same mistake, Daniel Reyes, but I don't think there's really a gap between any of our goalkeepers right now.
Well, also in regards to Matt Turner, I like in Matt Fries even, I think Matt Fries deserves more chances so we can see. It was a mistake. Sure. And this was probably the best time to make that mistake. But in terms of shot stopping, which he hasn't been heavily tested so far, he's been fine. So let's see till the end of the Gold Cup. Hopefully we still have 3 games. But let's not quit on Matt Fries yet. Let's give him a chance. It can happen. Goalkeepers can make mistakes. Maybe this was an anomaly. Maybe it's not, right? It's concerning.
Let's see how he responds.
Exactly. I would not quit on this guy yet.
Julian Vivas says, we will have Stone, who has signed a contract with Brentford, Cochin, and Andrew Rick for 2026. Here's the problem, Julian. None of these guys has played a single professional minute. Okay, so they're not going to, and they are not going to play any minutes in 2026. So they are not 2026 options. We can't really judge goalkeepers on, or any player really, just on signing a professional contract. We have to wait to see how they look at the pro level and at the level that they're playing at. And certainly with goalkeepers, you need to see them in multiple games. You can't really judge a goalkeeper on a few games. They have promise. Andrew Rick, sure, absolutely. Coaching, definitely a promising player. None of them are professional goalkeepers, right? People say Andrew Rick starts for Philly. Okay, yes, he starts in MLS. He just started in MLS because Blake is injured. Andre Blake is injured. So you cannot, using Andrew Rick as an example is kind of a poor, number one, it's MLS. Number two, we don't have a big enough data set on him.
Matt Freese was really good in MLS last year. Matt Freese was very good.
Yeah, Matt Turner was amazing. He was the goalkeeper of the year in MLS. It isn't a great exact. Patrick Aguimang does score goals in MLS. You can't really use MLS as a measuring stick for quality. It's a good start if you're very young, but really we see their true quality when they go play at a high level.
Well, we've seen MLS in the Club World Cup where outside of the team that has freaking Messi, they all have 0 points.
Yes.
They're going to all end the group stage with probably 0 points, Seattle and LAFC. And people are saying these are not the best MLS teams. Look, maybe some people in the chat watch more MLS than me and than you, but I'll tell you one thing. Probably most of them don't actually. But anyhow, Inter Miami, LAFC, and the Seattle Sounders. I would not be surprised if any of these three win MLS Cup. So before anyone says these are not the best teams in MLS, when the season ends, don't be surprised if one of these three wins MLS Cup, or at least one of them makes it to the final. So to say they're not, they might not win the Supporters Shield. They definitely won't win the Supporters Shield, even though Inter Miami did last year. But in the playoffs, these teams could very well win MLS Cup. So, and outside of the team with Messi, they've got 0 points. And honestly, some of them didn't play that good of opponents. Like they played Esperance from Tunisia. Not a garbage opponent by any means, but a team that if the league is at a very high level, you expect them to beat them with some comfort. Like Flamengo from Brazil, for example, beat them 2-0 without putting much effort, right? Yeah. So you guys get the point. Just watch the Club World Cup and you'll get it. Like, for example, Seattle plays PSG tomorrow. That's a good game for y'all to watch. Yeah.
Moral of the story, guys, is, we hope these guys come through for the next cycle, but for 2026, none of them are options. Checo Todior says this was supposed to be Stefan's year. Look, Stefan had an opportunity this year if he could stay healthy, but every time, and he's been called up every USMNT camp. Remember in January, injured. In March, injured. Gold Cup, injured. Dude, at some point, we just have to stop calling him in because he has this weird knack of getting injured every time he gets called into camp. Okay, Trey, why does Aguimang, get this amount of minutes from Poch? He's a great coach. Otherwise, he wouldn't be him. What does he see that everyone else seems to be missing? It's a great question, Trey. It's a great question. I don't see it. Tac doesn't see it. Most of the fan base, outside of a few shills and a lot of Charlotte fans, don't see it. I don't know what Pochettino is thinking. We have speculated that he doesn't seem to really care about this job. He's making $12 million in 2 years to be on vacation for 80% of the year and coach a few games against meaningless opponents that are sparsely attended and for which there will be no pressure whatsoever from the media or from the mainstream sporting public. So I don't think Pochettino cares that much. I think he's happy to throw, Aguimang out there, and his MLS bosses are happy because he's using this as an MLS promotion tool. Why specifically Aguimang? I don't know, because Brian White is also there. He's also an MLS player. It is baffling to all of us. Absolutely all of us.
Most of the players in the roster are MLS players, so it's not like an MLS bias for Aguimang.
No, that's the problem. It's like that we can't even point to that and say it's got to be an MLS bias.
Just one thing to Brendan there. Yes, actually, most Charlotte fans are not stupid, and most Charlotte fans agree that Aguimang shouldn't be with the national team. Most of them. The problem is, Pete, is that there's like a small percentage of fans that just spit nonsense. It might be like 5 comments, literally 5 comments in a video with 10 to 15,000 views. And then we see those 5 comments and we think it's literally like 5 to 6 people that just like spit complete and utter nonsense. I'm done talking about Agumon for today. I'm done.
If you love Agumon, congratulations. Valentine's hearts to both of you. I wish you all the best of luck and life and love. But I can't convince somebody of something that they cannot be convinced by. If you love him, congratulations. Tune into the game against Costa Rica or Mexico to see more of your special boy.
You should buy a jersey, a USMNT jersey, put the number 9 on in Agumon. Because we've seen this before. We've seen this with Zardes. We've seen this with Jesus Ferreira. We've seen this with Duncan Maguire. Brendan Vasquez. Remember when he had one season in MLS and everyone wanted him in the national team?
24 goals
now,
in MLS.
Now no one wants Brendan Vasquez anymore. He's with Austin. He's still not. Well, he went to Mexico, back to MLS. It just keeps happening. It's the same cycle.
It's the same shit. But again, look, bring a sign. Say, I heart Agumon. Go to the stadium. Maybe he'll sign a shirt for you afterwards. And you'll be happy. And that's really all you deserve in life, is to be happy, you know? So congratulations to anybody who is in love with Agumon being on this team. I guess there's really not much more to talk about, Tac. Is there anything else? The way this team is playing is ass, right? It just is. I'm sorry. There's no way around it. This whole summer, since Poch took over, but especially this year, is ass. Now they will be tested, not against giants, not against great players, but against the best of CONCACAF. Mexico, Canada, Costa Rica is not the best of CONCACAF. We may win that game. And if we do, then we have a semifinal against probably Canada.
Panama. I think it's Panama.
Oh, against Panama, I'm sorry. And then, you know, if we make the final, we'll see who else makes the final. But this team has got out of the group stage. Job done, job complete. I will not praise them for something that is the bare minimum. And now, I guess, looking forward, we'll see what we look like against.
Oh, they're saying you're right. It's Canada. Okay, so it's Canada.
Is it?
I thought it was Panama when I checked. Let's actually, so we don't leave the stream with false information. Let me actually check.
Tac will do the check on whether it's Panama or Canada. And like I said before, guys, thanks for hanging. Thanks for watching the games. I personally think that you're like those guys or people in bad relationships, where it's not going well, but you still show up and you try to be, you know, supportive and authentic and, you know, good for you, because frankly, your partner does not deserve this. And in this case, in this metaphor, your partner is the USMNT. Let's see what we do.
As long as Canada tops the group, it's Canada. It's right, Group B. But Canada
I guess we have to wait for the final set of games.
They tied Curaçao.
Yeah, they did tie Curaçao.
So, but yeah, assuming Canada advances in first, which they will with a win against El Salvador. They should beat El Salvador. We are in the same bracket as Canada, and if we beat Costa Rica or Mexico, we're going to find out in the next 3 hours if we play Costa Rica or Mexico. And again, Costa Rica is no pushover, so we'll see.
This is a great comment. John Strong's commentary depletes the team's collective skill. That's why we look bad. Oh yeah, we've spoken enough on our soccer media in this country. Is there anything else we need to talk? Are you doing the 7 things we learned tomorrow?
No, I already to them. Why not? It's been like they think we love being negative, and the thing for me is like I was taking notes of the 7 things we learned, and it's mostly negative. Besides the fact that we advanced, it's mostly negative. I'm like, I'm tired of making videos where the less, because look, I have to say what I'm seeing, and what I'm seeing is mostly negative stuff. Yeah. I don't want to make another video talking about negative stuff when we got a win. I know it was a shit win, so I'm just going to say I'll skip it. Hopefully in the quarterfinals, we beat Costa Rica or Mexico, and then hopefully I have some positive things to say, and I'll do. I don't mind having a 7 things we learned where there are some negative lessons that'll happen, but I'm skipping on this one. I'm tired of being repetitive, so I'll see you guys on the next game. I think we play Saturday. We play Saturday, right?
More than fair. Let me double check. I think it's Saturday, but
I think we play Saturday. Yeah, it should be the 28th. So we play next Saturday.
Yeah. Saturdays, right? Yeah. Patreon video breakdown will be out not tomorrow because I'm here for one more day in Sequoia, but I'll do that Tuesday morning. Guys, we'll see you Saturday. Enjoy the Club World Cup. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Tac, I've got the Sequoia National Forest here to go enjoy. So you're going to watch the Mexico-Costa Rica game?
Yeah, I might fall asleep because it's like 10 to midnight, but I'll at least watch the first half. Yeah, I want to see what's going on. I'll try to watch the whole game today. If not, I'll rewatch it tomorrow. Because also, our opponent will come from that game, and I want to know what we're facing. So yeah, I'll watch it.
Yeah. And one last thing before I go, guys. Smash, absolutely smash that like button. And when I say smash, SMASH in all caps, leave a comment with your thoughts, and I'll talk to you soon.